Results from a survey showed that all our incoming students had an average of 2 to 3 devices, yet not one student had been taught how to use digital tools on these very devices. Our own Director of Innovative Learning and Apple Distinguished Educator, Sabba Quidwai, explains how the Primary Care Physician Assistant Program at the Keck School of Medicine of USC is helping students become problem solvers and critical thinkers in the classroom, so they're ready to meet their professional goals once they start their careers. As our newest class of students began their medical education this fall, we incorporated the first ever digital tools element to our orientation. Students were introduced to design thinking as a framework for solving problems, so they could develop a study plan to help them adjust to the content-heavy course load they would be undertaking in their pathway to becoming PAs. No longer were students limited to the confines of pen and paper, but they could use their iPads to tag, annotate, link, and search through what would be their database of curated medical content. Here is what some students from the class of 2018 had to say.
Hello, my name is Adam Kamesa.
Hi, I'm Sijin. I'm a PA student at USC.
Hi, I'm Corinne. I'm also a PA student at USC.
My name is Ryan Kennedy. I'm a USC PA student. Final.
I'm Alice Yoon, and I'm also a USC PA student.
Hello, I'm Vince Casario, and right now I'm a first-year student at the USC Physician Assistant Program.
So I use 3 devices. I use an iPad, my MacBook, and a phone. In lectures, I would use my iPad to take down notes as well as to record lectures. But on the go, the app actually allowed me to sync up all of my material between all 3 devices.
How I transitioned from paper to Notability, it was kind of a sudden kind of thing. I always use paper, I always write my notes, but using Notability, I'm able to annotate and highlight on my notes, and it was just really easy to just carry everything on one iPad instead of just all these papers that were building up in my backpack.
Alright, I had a little freak out moment with the when they told us we had to transition to electronic stuff. I'm a little older, so paper and pen was always my form of note taking. So I kind of just jumped into it, and I started with Notability on my laptop, and that was terrible for me. So then I transitioned to the iPad and started using the stylus because it most mimicked the paper pen type thing, and actually it's worked really well because I was able to record the lectures and then my writing syncs up, so it's actually worked out pretty well.
Like cutting something and making it bigger and smaller and moving it, it's really cool with your notes. And I know it was a struggle for me because I had never learned that way before, but with this level of learning and the quick pace of lectures, I could never keep up with writing my notes, and also my hands would cramp up.
Well, I used to take notes by printing out the PowerPoint slides and writing right on the paper slides, and also using notebooks, legal pads, just pretty much paper notes. But once I started PA school, I learned about all the great opportunities for organizing notes digitally, which will be not only a good benefit is to save paper, but also I know it'll be of much importance when I enter my clinical rotations because I'll be able to have those on me at all times.
The feature that I like is that because we are taking all those classes, and some of them being basic medical sciences and topics of medicine, which are very content-heavy courses, I like that I can access the notes from each of these classes very easily with all the dividers on the side, and it's all in one app, it's all in one location, and it really helps me to bridge what I'm learning in between these 2 classes and really solidifies my learning experience.
Being able to screenshot a slide that isn't in our notes, and then just adding a page on our Notability, and it adds onto our page, like our notes automatically.
Each subject has its own folder, and I basically import the slides for the presentation, and one of the benefits is that it allows me to not only see the slide better, but to also gives me a significant amount of room to type directly on the slide.
I would use my phone to listen to all the lectures, and which essentially freed up a lot of my time to when I was actually sitting down looking at the material.
What I really like about Notability and some of the other applications I use is the portability. I know it's going to sound redundant, but the portability and the accessibility of everything. Because I commute, and so because I commute, I'm able to plug it into my computer, my car, and kind of listen to lectures where I otherwise wouldn't.
One really cool thing about the search function is that when I search diabetes, it'll come up
everything on diabetes will come up from my notes. So if I learned about diabetes and pathophys, but I also learned about diabetes in my clinical skills course, both of those courses are going to come up, and then I can see and I can make the connection between the two courses. Okay, this is the pathophys of diabetes, and this is how I would treat it, and this is how I would see it in a clinical presentation.